Hi, it's Great British Sexpert here. And you know in England how we're all supposed to be very prudish over sex? I don't think we are anymore. And there's lots of sex therapists around, it's not just myself. And we can all learn something from all the different people out there. And today I have come to see Colin Richards. And he is a sensual masseur. He's also a psychosexual therapist. And I don't really know lots about that side of things. So I've come to London and I'm going to have a meeting with him. I'm going to have a consultation and actually go through the process and see what's involved with his clients. So I found out about this guy because he had an article in Cosmopolitan, and this title somewhat caught my attention. Would you pay this man £175 to give you an orgasm? So the process involves, what I had to do was actually go and fill in a form on his website, really personal stuff, because Colin's work is obviously very hands-on. So I had to fill in a variety of questions and basically say how comfortable I am with him touching certain parts of my body on a scale between 0 to 10. So they can include very basic things like firm muscle work, right through to breast massage, nipple stimulation, anal oral stimulation. And he also asks if I want him to be naked at some point or if I want to touch him. So this is, it's a very personal questionnaire, but one would expect that. He wants to just define what the boundaries are. And this is interesting to me because obviously of what I did, I was working as an escort. So I spent a lot of my experience in the sex field and my experience as a sexpert is very hands-on. But that is all in the past now. Now I help people using hypnosis and other therapy techniques. Mine isn't hands-on, so I'm actually quite nervous about this. I didn't really sleep last night, I don't know why, but I think I unconsciously feel a little bit nervous about getting naked in front of this man, what he's going to do, what he's going to uncover, much like I imagine most people do if they were going to go down this route of a complete stranger, giving their body to a complete stranger to kind of explore with, really. What I'm most nervous about is the fact that obviously when I was working and I was escorting and the experience was very, I was having sex with multiple gentlemen then, the experience was I was always in control. And I think what's a bit daunting about this for me is that I'm relinquishing that control 100% and putting it in the hands of somebody else. So yeah, I feel apprehensive, a bit nervous, a little bit scared, but also excited. So I'm going to see him and I'll report back so that you guys know what's on offer. Okay, so I'm looking for number 2. 2A. 2A, 1A, not 2A. Do you remember it said in the instructions? Here's number 2. Nervous.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to
How
see
are
you.
you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. Come on in.
Achieve today is to enable you to experience those experiences, the physical experiences of arousal, etc., but at the same time become aware of when those feelings kick in. So when you're having the massage, not necessarily to sort of report as we go through, but just pay attention to where your brain is going. You know, is it paying attention to me? You know, are you finding yourself thinking, oh, I wonder if he's enjoying giving me the massage. I wonder if he likes this, and thinking of in those terms.
Yeah.
Or is it, oh God, I feel a bit exposed, or I mustn't let him look at this, and I mustn't do that. You know, is it all about maybe anxiety around your own body? Is it anxiety, or is it going somewhere else completely? Is it completely distracting? You're thinking about the shopping tomorrow, or I wonder if, you know, this is going well on film, or, you know, whatever it is. You know, where does your brain go in those moments? Does it remind you of certain people? Does certain movements trigger old memories of, or I remember that happened, and you know, all these some different feelings that kick through. So when we're going through it, just be aware of those, and just be aware that you're totally in control from the point of view of, the way I like to look at it is that imagine we're both going on a little bit of a bus journey, and we're driving through the country lanes, and I'm in the driver's seat, but you're in the passenger seat. And ultimately, you've got the map in front of you, and you've got your feet up on the dashboard. And now you can either lie there, close your eyes, and just close the map and say, right, you know, you said we're going to the beach and we're going to go for a lovely swim. I'll wake up when we get there and have it. But just take me in wherever you want. Or I want to go this way, that way, this way, that way, that way. And at any point, you can steer me in directions. You can either nudge me and tell me to stop, you can tell me to go faster, or you can go back onto the motorway and go down the fast lane, or we can park up and have a little picnic. You know, whatever is going, you are ultimately in control of the direction. If you don't do anything, then I will just drive and go where I instinctively think you might like to go. So the more you respond, you can, you know, the beauty of this is that you're able to behave in whatever way you want that is natural to you without fear of judgment, fear of, you know, having to perform in a particular way, fear that anyone's going to phone you the next morning or swear undying love to you. It's a contained period of intimate treatment that allows you to just relax and enjoy the whole experience. And part of you is here to just, as you said, see what it's like to be on the receiving end of what I've done for other people for years and years and years. You know, there's nothing more pleasurable to get back what you love giving to others. And so I hope that hopefully this will answer a few areas and of experiences that you haven't had. Is there any area that you're a bit nervous about, anxious about?
I think just even sort of, it's not, I don't have anxiety about getting touched, obviously, but I think just the whole, I guess this must be what a lot of people feel like when they come, just that slight, there's a mixture of feelings going on. I'm sort of a little bit anxious, a little bit excited, a little bit apprehensive, even though you're sort of saying I'm in the driving seat. The first thought that came to my head then is, will I feel uncomfortable to say, you know?
Okay, well, there you go. That's something to clock.
Why
stop, do you feel uncomfortable to say stop?
Yeah. It wasn't really that I would. It was that would I? It was the question I was asking myself. Would I? And then I'm thinking the thought process. Well, I'm a very assertive person, so no, I shouldn't. But then, how would it feel just to not say no and just to allow, just to relinquish that control that I've been so, you know, holding on to for dear life, sort of thing. And yeah, so sort of. Yeah, a mixture of emotions. So,
I think after the massage we'll have another conversation to find out how you felt, what certain things happened. You know, this isn't about goal scoring. You know, if you don't reach orgasm, then it's absolutely fine. If you do, it's absolutely fine. It's whatever unfolds and takes place. One of the benefits of this sort of experience is that by having a massage and the way it's done is that it generates oxytocin in the body, which relaxes.
Yes.
And it's a very steady, slow arousal.
Yeah.
For many women, when it's the sexual encounter with a partner, foreplay often can be a little short.
Yeah, they're not getting enough.
And they're not getting enough. And you know, the sexual arousal cycle for a woman is really and truthfully about 60 minutes. For a man, 15 minutes. And so for most men, it's sort of in there, do it, get it all, and bang, you're off. This actually allows your body to actually gradually arouse, come up that plateau, come up that hill, plateau a bit, then go up a little bit more, then maybe go down a bit, then go up a bit, then go down a bit, then go right up high again, then down a bit. It's a bit like a mountain range for a woman.
Yeah.
For a guy, it's just like climbing one mountain and then down the other side.
Yeah.
This is why actually I say that the biology of the male and female, you know, is so incompatible, because fundamentally females in those 60 minutes are meant to be able to explore 4 males. You know, each one has 15 minutes and she has her 1 hour. And that's biologically how it's meant to be.
Oh, right.
So
I learned something new.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, is there anything I need to know about your body? Any aches and pains, muscular problems that you have? You know, I'm thinking, you know, I don't want to upset a shoulder or neck, or is there an area that you particularly like having worked on? Because this is based around a massage.
Yeah, the top of my neck, I always love, because obviously I work at a computer a lot as well, so I always get a lot of tension at the top of my neck, so I really like
so the neck and the shoulders. And I've already sent you that form beforehand, before we met, which you've gone through the more intimate areas. It's giving me some guidelines. I like to get a framework. I mean, you know, no woman wants to give a shopping list of what she likes and doesn't like.
No, but it's for you. You
But
need
it's
the
a
boundaries, don't
guideline,
you?
and you know, it's a movable target.
Yeah.
And as I said, you know, as things unfold, if you find yourself getting really pleasurable feelings from one particular thing, I can do more. But is there any particular part of the body you don't like having touched, like feet or head, or, you know, some people have phobias. I don't want to kick onto that.
No phobias,
Good.
not
That's
that I'm
good,
aware
good,
of.
good. I have one person who didn't like having their knees touched.
Right, okay.
Don't ask me why, but they didn't want
No.
their knees touched. So.
Well, you never know, you might find somewhere, but currently I don't know of anywhere.
It's just that I don't want to do something to
No.
suddenly, you know,
Yeah.
wake you up. And the whole point of it is for you to really relax and enjoy it. It's your moment to just let go and allow yourself to receive.
Yeah,
And the
that's
way
what I want to do. I really want to allow, you know, in my head I'm thinking, am I going to be able to relax?
You'll
you
be
know?
surprised.
And
First thing is stop questioning it and just let it happen.
yeah.
Stop thinking about whether it will or won't, and
that's it. Just
let
allow
it
it to just.
and if you know you have been out of control before, you have been in that relaxed state, and most of us have, but it was probably under the age of 2 years old. That's usually when the brain starts kicking in and building all these psychological layers.
Yeah.
So really what this massage is going to do is going to try and take you back, your body and your whole sort of neurological areas of your brain and your, you know, the whole aspect of your dynamic back to that time where
before I got programmed,
you
basically.
completely let go. Yeah, it's in computer terms,
Yeah.
it's a bit like sort of cleaning the hard
Yeah.
drive, defragging. You know, it's a great
Yeah.
process, and it's very cathartic. And the experience is often, people say to me afterwards that it really does feel like they're sort of walking away on a different plane. So hopefully you'll find that will be the feeling that you feel. So hope you haven't got too much to do afterwards, because you may well be just going for a bit of a rest.
No, I haven't got much to do
Anyway.
afterwards. So have you got enough information that you need from me to
Absolutely, yeah. So what I'll do is take you through into the treatment room. There's a shower in there, so you can have a quick shower, and then I'll come in when you're ready. So if you want to come through.
So I'm here on the couch, ready, waiting for Colin to begin his massage. And it's so nice in here. I do feel like I'm in a beautician's or something. It's warm, it's cosy, smells lovely. I've got a little bit of music on in the background. So it just, at the moment, just seems like any other massage. So looking forward to seeing what happens. I can see how it's something that people come back for time and time and again, and it's not sleazy or anything. It's just really, really relaxing, and I feel sort of, I suppose, like a little bit lightheaded, maybe. So there was one part where I felt a little bit uncomfortable, but that was just him finding a sensitive area on me that I didn't know existed, but everything else was because it's you can tell when he's working with me, and obviously when he's working with everyone, he's really sussing them out as they go along what it is that they're wanting. What he's doing is he's listening for my short intakes of breath or sounds, movement, watching all my physiology, which I would expect him to do. And what that's allowing him to do is to guide where he's going to go next. So I do, I feel like it's all about me, which it should be. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next.
Hello.
No, can we have more
All
floppy?
showered and back. Come and sit down.
Floppy.
So,
a bit dishevelled.
how are you feeling? Relaxed?
Relaxed.
Good.
Smiley. Good. I feel like I was trying to describe it. I feel sort of light. Does that make sense?
It makes absolute sense, because
Floaty.
on a purely sort of molecular level, all of your cells have been energized, because when we have that depth of touch, this is why touch and intimacy is such an important thing. Put the sex to one side, it's just the physical side. When our bodies are touched, in effect, it's receiving notification that, you know, we're stimulated, and that message goes through to, at a cellular level to basically say we're alive, we're procreative animals, so therefore our immune system must be activated. So being touched in any way, but particularly in that way, is an extremely healthy thing. It sort of energizes all the cells, and the cells would have sort of pumped up and just been communicating all over the place. So literally from your toes to the top of your head and ears and fingertips, everything is suddenly, woof, everything's working. So it's a bit like going in for a complete MOT.
And I was just saying earlier, it's you don't often, even sort of couples and things like this, very often, I mean, I get them come to me, you know, they're bored with their sex lives. They're not actually taking the time to explore each other's bodies. They've got the same foreplay that they do and the same way that they have sex, and they're not actually putting that time and effort into creating intimacy, which is really what this is about, isn't it? And that's the foundations for good sex anyway.
Absolutely.
But if couples were to do, you know, this isn't about just, you know, having a good relationship isn't just about having wham bam and having some sex and a bit of foreplay. If couples were scheduling some of this sort of intimate time into their, you know, making it happen on a regular basis, then there wouldn't be so many, you know, problems in relationships, would there? Because people avoid intimacy because they don't want to have sex. Whereas, you know, you can create intimacy and you can have all those amazing, pleasurable sensations that I experience, and you don't actually have to have intercourse to have that bonding experience, to have that to have that intimacy. You don't, you know, it's
the way I look at it is that if you the analogy is a bit like going out for a meal. You know, we can all go out to a steakhouse and have a nice big rump steak, or we can go to a 5-star restaurant where the rump steak is the main course, but you have a starter, you have an entree, you have a dessert, you have the cheese, you have the coffee, and you have the whole atmosphere. Great sexual relationships should be like going out for a 5-course dinner. It should encompass everything. And, you know, you can have a thumping great steak, or you can miss the steak out and do everything else, as people do. And for women particularly, that's important. It's, you know, men seem to get very focused on the rump steak.
Yes.
And sometimes, you know, because that's all they ever eat, for want of a better description, that's all they ever go for. And so they play it safe. So a lot of men in relationships need to be educated to learn how to be more expressive, more creative, more exploratory, because not only is the female mind very complex, but the female body is very complex as well. And hopefully by giving a woman this sort of experience, she can then encourage her partner or bring the partner along and have him taught. And, you know, it's one of the most profound parts of any relationship, but yet it's one of the few things that we get taught about. We don't get taught how to have sex, we don't get taught how to have intimacy. And so really, it's up to people like you and I now to try and educate people to say, yes, it's okay to explore and understand and do all of these things. One of the things that I've learnt in the last 3-4 years since I've been giving massage to women is that I, as a man, have had to find my primal masculine man, because actually when it comes to the massage, this is the one I give to women is much more physical and much more assertive than I would give to a male. And I think in most cases, it's generally that once the energy gets up, it goes higher and higher, and I have to then take that flow and go with it. So it's nice to hear, you know, that assertive, aggressive, not aggressive, assertive part.
It's the assertiveness, absolutely.
And being led down a pathway rather than having to lead the man down, you know, you're actually being taken down. But
and I really liked the whole feather thing. I suppose a lot of people do. That's sort of, it's not the, I was thinking I want to get one of those feathers. Where do you get them from?
Just down the road.
Just down the road.
Just a little ostrich feather, poor ostrich. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to create different sensations.
Absolutely.
Because you've got the feather, you've got the little metal rake, you can use your nails. you know, it is a journey of sensation.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
think, I mean, you look around the house and find things that you can play with. If in your own home, you know, it's quite easy to create it. And surprise, I mean, you chose to have the blindfold on at the end, and it's nice to have that, what's going to happen next, you know, that anticipation.
Exactly,
Some people
that's
really,
what I wanted.
that works better for some, others prefer to see everything.
I just thought it would bring a new, you know, when you take away someone's sight, you'll take, you know, everything then is the focus on how something feels, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it's great to experiment with the different senses and taking away one or the other. But yeah, so that really worked for me as well. Just having.
And were you more? Did you find yourself? Was there any difference between lying face down or lying face up? What did you find was more comfortable, arousing, stimulating?
I think. Don't know. I think it's a nice build up to go from the back to the front, because I wouldn't want to not have any, you know, because my back is and the back of my neck's very sensitive, so I wouldn't want to not have that. But obviously the front, there's a lot more you can get going on with there. So obviously breasts, and I think that part of it was very nice.
But you didn't find yourself more relaxed one way or the other. You were quite relaxed on both ways.
Yeah.
I thought so, because some people you can sense as soon as they turn facing upwards, they feel more exposed. They're a bit embarrassed about their body. You seemed very relaxed. In fact, actually, when you turned over, you were kind of at one point you were sort of spread-eagled. I thought she's fine, she's happy.
Spread-eagled, God.
It's a very cathartic experience.
Yeah, and I think
that's
the thing, is that I did feel very, very comfortable and very relaxed, and obviously that's what you aim to do.
Yeah.
So, job well done.
Thank you.
So I've been feeling really invigorated having one of Colin's psychosexual massages, and it's been absolutely amazing. And Colin, I can't praise him enough. I mean, the whole process from contacting him, very, very professional. Had to fill in all the forms of what I was comfortable with him doing and not doing. And the great thing about it is that every step of the way that was open to change. I could change my mind at any point when he was doing anything, or if I wanted him to add something. When I went to the apartment, he's very welcoming. His apartment is just beautiful, and it really did put me at ease. You know, you think you might be going into some seedy massage place when you think of sensual massages, but this was just going into a luxury apartment. Everything about it is designed to make you feel very relaxed. From the smell when you go in, he's got all the oil burners going, all the candlelight, and it's just a very, very, you can't help but feel very relaxed and content as soon as you walk in. From talking to him as well, when we had our initial consultation there, he's very obviously non-judgmental, which is what you want with somebody like this. You want to be able to speak freely without feeling judged. And he was very good at finding out a little bit about my past and how he could help me, and that helped him tailor the massage. And it was nice that I had a nice fluffy towel, go and get myself showered before we did the actual treatment. And he did it in 2 45-minute parts, which meant that I had a couple of minutes in between to sort of gather my thoughts, relax, just process really the experience that had just happened. And he experimented with a lot of different sensations, feathers, a lot of oil, lovely hot body oil, so everything was slippery and slidey, and that was great. What was nice is he was holding my hand at certain points, and he was inviting me to squeeze it if I was okay with what he was doing. So he was really looking at my physiology and really taking me on this pleasure journey based on how I was responding to him and what he was doing. So I felt really, really comfortable. It just felt that amazing massage with those few little extra bits. And afterwards, obviously, we just had a little chat to round things up, but I would highly recommend him. Anybody that's looking to just get more in touch with their sexuality, maybe they want to respice your sex life or learn how to give pleasure, or in some cases, it's learning how to receive pleasure that's equally important. And he's the guy to do it. I highly recommend him. And you can find out more about him at Intimacy Matters. He also does workshops and courses, one-on-one, so he also does talks, so there's a number of ways you can find out more about him. But seriously, go and check this guy out. I'm the Great British Sexpert, and I'll be back with more Sexperts soon.